Good morning. Thank you guys for coming out today on a very special day for Missouri State football at Missouri State University. Our order of events here this morning, in a few moments, I'll introduce Director of Athletics Kyle Moats, who will take us through the past 5 days on our campus and how we got to this point. He'll then introduce University President Cliff Smart, who will also have some opening comments from the university's perspective, and he will in turn introduce our new head coach, Ryan Beard. Coach Beard has some prepared remarks, of course, and at the conclusion of those, we'll have an opportunity for our media representatives who are here today to ask questions off podium to the side here so we can get those out of the way. And, of course, anyone who wants to stick around to congratulate Ryan and his family can certainly do so at that point. So, with no further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our Director of Athletics, Kyle Moats. Kyle?
Thanks, Rick. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I first want to publicly thank Coach Bobby Petrino for his time here at Missouri State. We were privileged to win a conference championship and participate in the playoffs twice under his leadership. He proved we could make this program a championship one, and I wish him all the best at UNLV. When I had our end-of-the-year meetings with Coach Petrino, we would talk about a variety of issues regarding our football program. In one of our earlier conversations, I mentioned how impressed I was with Ryan. I just felt like he had the it factor. Bobby wholeheartedly agreed. As I attended practices and games, I noticed how he interacted with the team, and I became even more convinced that he had what it took to ultimately become a head coach. Ryan has had the opportunity to be involved in every aspect of coaching since he arrived at Missouri State. I believe that was intentional in Coach Petrino's confidence in Ryan's abilities, as well as Ryan's desire to learn every aspect of the coaching profession from the very best. Ryan and I had an opportunity to meet last week to discuss the job and his philosophy on football, life after football, academics, and the overall well-being of our student athletes. He gave a lot of credit to all the coaches he has had the opportunity to work for, such as Willie Taggart, Jeff Brom, Jim McElwain, and of course, Coach Petrino. After our discussion, I felt even more convinced that he was a person I wanted to oversee our program and lead our young men. I reported back to President Smart my analysis for his final decision. It is important to me that we keep the continuity of our coaching staff intact, as well as the overall structure of our program. We had made great strides in all areas the past 3 years with this staff, and we have a lot of momentum. I firmly believe Ryan has earned the respect of our players, our recruits, and our coaching staff. Ryan's infectious energy and sincere willingness to want our job was apparent. His enthusiasm was contagious in what he believes we can accomplish here. He believes in Springfield, our fan base, and our university. He knows we have what it takes to compete nationally and be contenders in the Missouri Valley Conference. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce President Cliff Smart to formally introduce our new head football coach.
Good. Thanks, Kyle. And I'll begin also by thanking Coach Petrino for the work he did in the 3 seasons he was here. He took a 1-10 football team that not very many people were interested in and turned it into a competitive winning program by putting together an amazing coaching staff, just top to bottom, every single one. So committed and capable. We had not ever had that, at least since I've been here. The level of coaching that we had, and then through those men was able to recruit a different level of talented football player so that we were competitive every game. We expected to win, and I always thought that we could have winning football at Missouri State, and I always thought that our fan base would embrace that if it occurred. For 30 years, we had mediocre football what a surprise. People weren't very excited about that. Winning football has changed the game, and we are at a different place today than we were 3 years ago when this group of coaches came here committed to turn this program around. It is now time to build on that success. Guys, when we hired Coach Petrino, we didn't anticipate he would end his career here. That was not the deal. The deal was to come in and turn the program around. And so Kyle, from the beginning, had been working on where do we go next. This was always the plan. A year in, this was the plan. And so when we learned this week that it was likely that Coach Petrino was going to take another job, my one directive to Kyle was spend the afternoon with Ryan and tell me if he's ready. Called me back that afternoon and said, he's ready. And so we were without a head football coach for about an hour and a half. And I tell my team, we can hire people quickly, guys. Doesn't have to take 6 months or 6 weeks. And we had the conversation with the board Thursday afternoon, and they enthusiastically and unanimously gave me the authority to sign a contract with Ryan to make him our next football coach. Kyle talked about the importance of continuity and continuing to build with what we have. All that being true, we would not have gone down this road if we were not convinced that Ryan was the person to lead our team, that he was a person of character, who believed in family and faith and doing things the right way, following the rules, could continue the winning tradition. But guys, coaching any team is more about winning. Winning is important. We want to win. But it's also about student athlete. It's about student success. It's about developing character in our players and preparing them for life after college and life after football. And we think that Ryan is the man to do those things. And so, no further ado, let me introduce the head football coach at Missouri State University, Ryan Perry.
I'll start with this. God is good and His timing is perfect. There's no doubt in my mind about that. As I look through the room, I wasn't even going to start with this on my sheet, but I have to. When you talk about the last 3 years and what we've done here and the relationships we've developed, looking out in the crowd, you have leaders in the community. You have ages young and old. You have all sports. You have our whole staff. You have every single realm of this university is represented. And I think that's truly a testament for the commitment by these guys up here and what we're going forward to do. And let me get this right off my chest. My family and I could not be more proud and more humbled to be your head football coach. A few sincere thank yous. There's a million people that I could thank, but here's a few that I think I really need to make sure I take a little bit of time with. First, to my wife, Katie. Being a football coach's wife is a thankless job. You're a single parent for most of the year. Your sacrifice is tremendous, and the way you run our household, and you're the rock to our family, and I really appreciate it, and I love you very much. And my family actually flew in. They're on the front row too. They flew in this morning to surprise me, and you're going to hear me say the words family and football family probably a million times, because we run thick, we have each other's backs, we're loyal to one another, and it all starts there. And you're probably going to see and meet one of the biggest football fans in the crowd, my grandmother, Betty Jo Beard. Her late husband was the color guy for our high school football program. The stadium is named after him. And we are a football family through and through. And in regards to what Mr. Smart said, it's so much more than wins and losses. It's camaraderie, it's community, it's all of those things that make us love why we do what we do, and I thank you guys for coming as well. President Smart, your overall vision for this university is crystal clear, and I think everyone in this room and in the community believes in you and trusts in your vision, and I believe that as well. That's one of the things with you and Kyle has always believed in us and his staff. And it was an easy yes. Throughout the last few years, there's been opportunities here and there. But when you have leadership that truly values you as people and values the culture that you're trying to instill, it's a no-brainer when this opportunity comes up. I don't know if I could have gotten to you fast enough. Just, I want the job. I couldn't have. And I was so excited. And I told my staff, I said, guys, are you ready? I'm going after it as hard as I possibly can. And we got it done, which was cool. The Board of Governors, thank you as well. There's another group of gentlemen that since the day we've got here have really been there with open arms and asked myself and our staff what they could do for us to improve the player experience and improve what we have at this university. Kirk Elmquist, Scott Offord, Dennis Heim are just a few of the names in the FPA group. And Kirk is here. And I think Scott might be here as well. They're two men that I've grown very close with, and I appreciate them as men, as fathers, as leaders in our community, and I definitely wanted to make sure I thank them as well. Obviously to Coach Petrino, thank you for setting the foundation for us to come in and succeed. The foundation is there. This is not a rebuild. This is not one of those jobs you take that it's going to take 5-10 years to really get it going. The staff is in place. The players are somewhat in place. Obviously, we need to correct and do a few things there, but the future is so bright, and this is probably not normal for most, press conferences. I want my staff to stand up really quick. There's no head coach without our staff that we're keeping intact. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I want you guys to know that your value to me, I can't even explain. You've had our back the whole way through. We've grown close as family, and each of you are valuable, extremely valuable to me, and I hope you stay around and enjoy this journey as we go and win, okay? Our football team is going to attack every single day in multiple phases of their lives, okay? You start with the student-athlete aspect of it. They're going to be great in their academics. Every single time we talk to recruits, it's about earning a meaningful degree. This is a university with academic prowess that we can pride ourselves on to bring student athletes here that represent you with integrity. That's one thing that's really important to us. And one thing that we're going to build on here is community engagement. Okay, you are going to see our faces in the community. I want you to meet our young men. Another reason why I beg people to talk about our kids. I beg people to talk about our university and our program, because the people in this program are what make it so great. Our student athletes are bright-eyed, vibrant young men. And they do such a great job, and that's really, really important. And then football, all right, the standard of excellence in football will not change. You have to attack workouts, practice, and games like it could be your last. In our sport, it absolutely could be, all right, and we are going to do that in a fierce manner and get after it as hard as we possibly can, okay? And then our core values, and me as a man, I have 3 simple ones: faith, family, and football, and it comes in that order. That's extremely important to me, and I think it kind of guides my life and how we go. All right, and in regards to our football team, we are going to work extremely hard. I cannot tell you that enough. We are going to be willing to put in the work. We're going to have tough young men in our program, and we are going to do what I like to call out-hit, out-hustle. You're going to see that branded everywhere, okay? And it's not just the physicality of football. It's a mental take on it. It's a mental makeup of how you attack your life, how you go attack your project that's due at midnight that you got to get in, and you just practice for 4 hours and we've been killing you all day. It's so much more than just a football mindset, and I think that's really, really important. Loyalty. Okay, loyalty is an extremely part of our core value. You've got to be loyal to yourself in this university. You've got to represent the Bear logo, the MSU logo on your chest with loyalty and integrity in every single thing that you do. There's eyes on you all the time, and our players believe that and they understand that. And probably one of the most important to me, and if you can't tell, I love what I do. I show up to work every single day, try to have a smile on my face. Is every day great? No, but there's joy in every single day. And you have to do everything you do with passion and purpose. And that's one thing we want to instill in our kids, is that life is short. Get as much as you possibly can out of your life. You don't know when that will end. So every single thing you do, find passion and purpose in what you do. All right? And where's Len at? Len's been my right hand since everything shook out. I'm appreciative of you and everything that you do and your hard work. Seriously, it means a lot. And I'll leave you with this. I could not believe in this university and its leadership anymore. I'm happy and blessed to be in this position of leadership, and we're going to make you proud inside the community as well as on the football field, and I can't wait to get started. Go Bears.
Good job.